Hey guys, as you probably already know, my name is Malachi. Today I'll be talking about someone who was great. This wasn't the greatness that he inherited or achieved through someone else, it was his own. And guess what? That's why they called him great. You're probably wondering, what is greatness? I mean, you can say a lot of things to define greatness because there are many ways to achieve it. But the definition is an extent, amount, or intensity considerably above the normal or average. I mean, that certainly fits him because he definitely far above the average. He didn't want to be in his father's shadow, he wanted a greatness of his own. He wanted to expand his empire and create something that he would be remembered for forever. The guy that we're talking about is Alexander, better known as Alexander the Great. See, now that's amazing. To be known as great because of what you have done in your life, I mean, I guess that's what any great leader wants. Leader of many nations, winner of many battles, war hero, genius. But I believe every great person has an interesting behind them. So I guess that's where we'll start. The beginning. In 346 BC, Alexander was born in Pella. That was the ancient city capital of Macedonia. His parents were Philip II, who was the ruler of Macedonia, and Olympias, which was the princess of a neighboring country. At a young age, Alexander would watch how his father would rule and win in battle, and he would wonder if he could be like his father one day. At the age of 12, Alexander proved that he was up to that challenge when he took down and tamed a mighty horse. Nobody was able to tame this horse because of the physical harm it would cause them. This was one violent and uncontrollable horse. When this happened, Plutarch wrote this: Philip and his friends looked on at first in silence and anxiety for the result, till seeing him return at the end of his career and come back rejoicing and triumphing for what he had performed, they all burst out into acclamations of applause. And his father, shedding tears, it is said, for joy, kissed him as he came down from his horse. On his transport he said, O my son, look thee out, the kingdom to equal and worthy of thyself, for Macedonia is too little for thee. Now fast forward a year. Philip II is now paying big money for Alexander to get a private tutor. His tutor was Aristotle. You know, he was the famous Greek philosopher. For the next couple of years, Alexander would practice rhetoric, literature, and it stimulated his mind in math and science, medicine, and philosophy. All of these things became of great importance in Alexander's life that was soon to come. At the age of just 16, Alexander's father allowed him to rule while he marched his army across the land to another battle. But while all this was happening, a tribe rebelled against the country, and they posed a threat. They thought that because the king was gone, they would easily overthrow the kingdom. They thought that it was just his son, right? But they were terribly wrong. Alexander put together his own army to take apart this foolish rebellion. After fighting and fighting, Alexander took the win, and he even went so far as to name the capital after himself. A couple of years later, something tragic happened. It involved death and the rising of a new king. And guess where it all took place? During the spring of 336 BC, Philip II was assassinated by a young Macedonian noble for what he had done, he was killed on the spot. Even though this was a terrible thing, Alexander didn't wait a second before taking his spot as king. Ruling and expanding the empire was what he always wanted to do. At this point in time, he probably felt as if he could fly. But then something happened. Alexander was soon challenged. The Thebes started a rebellion. They took the death of Philip II as their chance to fight for independence. They thought that the nation would fall apart and they would win because of Philip II's death. Now, this got Alexander really upset. So he gathered a large army and then he invaded. Well, I guess you could say it was a knockout because once they broke the walls, the Thebes never stood a chance. 6,000 were killed, and about 30,000 of them were sold as slaves. I guess you could say they never saw it coming. Alexander fought many battles, from stopping rebellions to his many conquests, and Alexander built an amazing reputation for himself. His reputation was one that not many people could hold on their own. Alexander never lost. This, of course, isn't everything. There is much, much more. I mean, he expanded and mixed the many cultures of his empires, and he founded many cities and named them after himself. Alexander the Great did many things that changed the world today as we know it. Alexander brought cultures from different places and gave everyone in his empire a glimpse to a view of the entire world. I guess the word you could call him was courageous. Yeah, but that's not all. Maybe he was valiant? Nah. Well, amazing? That's not gonna work. Well, I guess I'm back where we started. Great. Alexander the Great. Script by Malachi Bryan. This video was voiced by Malachi Bryan. And all the other stuff. Bye.